What's up,
What
everyone?
the hell is going on with silver?
I don't know. Did I use the vacuum cleaner too much?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing, Frosty? Let me say hello to everyone here in the chat. Hello, David Carlisle. Eli, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Ground Fog, welcome. Gold Maple, welcome. Niels Han Dynasty. Um, let's see here. Who else do we have that I haven't covered? Amy Harrell, Metal Matt. Let's see here. Anyone else that I've missed? No, I think I've got everyone. So welcome to the stream. And I'll bring out the tools. I'll go into the vacuum cleaner, see if I sucked up any silver eagles. So yeah, silver is definitely very interesting. But we are also talking about something else before we're going to do that. So did you want to cover that first, or?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about some things that are in the news. Well, let's say, so what's up, Amy? How you doing? So, if you guys are in Canada, you probably want to listen. If you guys are around Boston, New York, y'all probably want to pay attention to what's going on. So, Stacks and Bowers is doing something really, really cool. And it's celebrating their 90th anniversary of their first auction, October of 1935. So what are they doing? Well, they got about 10 grand worth of treasures that are going to be out and about. So how's that going to work? Well, they're going to be issuing some certificates. They got some rare coin dealers, some auction items that they are going to be hiding. These certificates can be redeemable for things like rare coins, banknotes, several East Coast cities in the month of October. Now, this is going to be going on for quite a while. You can do it in Philadelphia from the 21st to the 25th. If you're down in Florida, go down and check out Miami the 28th through November 1st. Again, there's a whole bunch of these. If you want to learn more about this, go check out the Smithsonian Magazine and search for the story that talks about the real life treasure hunt. Now, I said something about also being in Canada. If you're in Canada and you know a little bit about Canadian history, I know Gold Maple's here, there's going to be a great Canadian treasure hunt. And if you haven't heard about that, it's going to go on until December 31st, 2026. There's a 13 stanza poem. It's got additional rules and riddles. So you got to go read it, figure out what's going on there. But there are some really cool things that are coming out of that. Now, what are some of the prizes? Well, I'm glad you asked. How about a 1924 St. Gaudens $20 gold eagle, double eagle? Yeah. How
Always a
about
good
an
thing.
1881 Morgan silver dollar, or maybe a 1907 $2.50 gold coin? Or what about a $3,500 banknote? So, like, there's some really cool stuffs going on. So, go check out the Smithsonian Magazine. Again, we are not affiliates. This is just something that was sent to us, and it is really cool. So, go check that out. You'll find a lot of great information there. And yeah, good luck.
Yeah, and good luck. And if you get a little extra, send some our way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. I mean, they do for Coin Week and stuff like that. The ANA always does some really neat stuff. Um, we've dropped a couple of things off last year. Paula and Livecoin Q&A told me about what was going on, and so we dropped a couple items. It wasn't nothing major like that, obviously. I mean, I'm still a small channel, but there's some really cool stuff out there. So definitely go check it out, see what they got going on, because there is some really neat stuff. So be on the lookout for that.
Good, good. So are we going to talk about my vacuum cleaner and the silver?
I think we probably need to do that.
Okay. So, Frosty, did I tell you what happened when I went to Chevella's just recently?
No, but I think it kind of pairs with what happened when I went to my local shop too. So I think
Yep.
this is something that people will get a lot of information from.
Well, it has to do with the topic of today's video or today's live stream. A lot of people are saying silver's at 50 something an ounce. Everybody's thinking it's going to go up. Some people don't. I was actually up until relatively recently thinking it's probably going to continue to go up because we are in a different set of scenarios now compared to the last time we were at this high. But I went in there and started talking to Chavella, and I understood that a lot of junk silver and
So real
sterling.
quick, Tiger, before you do this,
Yeah,
um, for the people who don't know who Chavella is, who's Chavella?
who's Chavella? She is the owner of the pawn shop here in Charleston, West Virginia. She's also got the best coin shop. She's got the best prices on buy and sell and the best spreads. She pretty much beats her competition. Hey, Amy Harrell, member for 17 months. Thank you. And it's the same thing for freaking awesome for becoming welcome to the Tiger Cub level. And hi, Michael, Stacking, and Nancy. So Chavella owns the pawn shop, which is also a coin shop here in Charleston, and I've been going there for plus or minus 4 years. She's been really awesome with all that. Michael and Nancy, stacking members for 18 months at Tiger Cub level. Thank you so very much. So I went in there and we were talking. I was trying to get her to agree to doing a video, which she wants to do, but sometimes she's got so many irons in the fire, it's kind of hard to get her to go from, yeah, let's do it to actually do it. And it's not her fault. She just has a really busy place. Hey, Joseph Lopez. So we were talking about the back prices of junk silver and sterling silver and, what's going on. She's actually uh, buying silver still, but she's buying it at 10 minus spot, which I know a lot of you are like, oh no. Well, you know, not everyone has the ability to print money. So, she's getting backed up because her people that she's sells to is getting backed up. And she has a friend who comes in and will use their XRF gun to verify what they're getting from her. And then they turn around and sell it to the refiners. And he's not buying from her either, simply because the refiners aren't buying from him. And evidently, the way it's working in the area, maybe this part of the country, maybe all parts of the country, they buy from Chavella or this guy, the XRF gun, or others. But these people aren't getting their cash for anywhere from 3 to 4 months. And that seems to be fitting with the issue that I want to bring up here. So people are selling their silver, maybe because they want to cash out. They think they're going to make a profit, which I don't think so. I think it's just the dollar price is spent, the purchase ability of the dollar is going down. But some people have to cash out. They've got a medical problems. They've lost a job. Their roof developed a leak. So they're trying to cash out on top of what I just mentioned. And they're getting all backed up with silver. They're not getting backed up with gold, but they're getting backed up with silver. And Chevella's sitting on it. Eventually she's going to run out of cash. And same thing with the guy with the XRF gun, because the refiners and the wholesalers are getting backlogged as well. And I kept looking into it. Why in the world do we have a backlog when you have LBMA getting backed up on demand for physical by big places such as India and other big places, and they're actually getting it now currently from the COMEX, which is decreasing the COMEX's supply as well as the LBMA. So these big institutions are getting backlogged. And you got the refiners having silver. Why aren't they getting it from the refiners? Well, after I started asking enough people enough questions, then I got myself some education. They do get it from the refiners, but evidently they're only allowed to get it in those big 1,000 ounce bars, those big bricks. So the refiners aren't able to process it as fast as the demand. Evidently, get this, they're about 4 months behind. So
Yeah.
that would be part of the
Yeah.
reason that everybody else is getting paid 4 months behind. So that's what I've found out so far. What have you found out?
So there's a couple different things. And so you guys have heard me say this a number of times when I talk about shorting something. And again, when the way I look at this, and again, folks, I'm Tiger and I are not financial experts, right? We read a lot, we talk to a lot of people, we make our assertions and our assessments because that's all we can do. I mean, really, it's all we can do. We can be informed. We're not in banking, we're not in the financial industries, we're not in those sectors. And so, we both work medical. So we're interested in this. We research this. We talk to a lot of people. We watch a lot of people. We read a lot. And Tiger and I have differing views on some of this. So when we speak this again, just understand this is just Tiger and I talking about what we see. Okay. So I want to clarify that. But I've said this a couple times. When we look at what's happening, it's not necessarily because of the metal, right? I hear stackers say, well, we need to change this. We need to have an impact. Folks, stackers, the mom and pop, you and me, we affect less than 10% of the total volume in stacking. It's actually more like single digits, probably 5, 6, 7%. Okay. It's not a really large number. It's important to be informed, but there's a couple of things that I want to kind of reference when we talk about this. Number one, what is a short squeeze? You guys have heard me say that my concern with this is that people are going to be shorting this. Doesn't mean that they're already in short positions. It just means as it continues to go up, the higher and higher and higher it goes, the better the likelihood is for them to short this and make huge amounts of money. There's a downfall to this for the people that are already doing this. And what we're seeing, and again, you guys, I've said this a bunch. Show me that smoking gun. Show me that item, that thing that really is different this time. And I think that the more I listen, the more I'm paying attention to what's going on. Long Live did a $10 super chat. Thanks, Long Live.
I was going to say that,
Um,
but I was like waiting for you to finish. Thanks,
yeah, it's all
Lon.
good. But when we look at kind of what's happening, again, I want to kind of talk a little bit about what is the squeeze, right? So what is a squeeze? So I want to give you an example. Okay. And I want to talk about the short squeeze. We talk about 2021 when members of the stock trading Reddit forum, you guys know this, and they did the whole GameStop thing. Everybody knows what happened well, everybody should know what happened with GameStop. They were projected to lose value in the future. And so everybody shorted it and it ended up going to an all-time high. I mean, it just blew the doors off. And what happened was they were very bullish. They were very gung ho. They promoted it and promoted it and promoted it. And the people who were trying to short GameStop lost massive, massive money. Well, this isn't anything new, right? So people are like, well, because this is something that's supposed to happen. These things are going to happen. People are going to short it. People are going to, um, they're going to do their puts. They're going to do their sells. They're going to invest long term. This is nothing new. But what's different about what's going on here is that those people are being called to deliver physical. And like Tiger and I talked about, he talked about this at the very beginning. one of the major issues is that, yeah, big money's buying, right? You're talking about China, India. The LBMA ran out of silver. We had to send them a whole bunch of silver, right? There was a big cargo plane. And Steve Bullion talked about this the other day. You can ship it, but it takes a couple of weeks for the boat to get there. When you talk about the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, um, they ran out. Well, why were they running out? Well, because they were being called on too. Oh, by the way, who was calling them? India. Why was India calling them? Because they didn't have any. And there's some other situations, some other concerns that we need to also be aware of. Yes, silver is going through the roof. Gold's going up. I mean, gold gained another what, $19 since market this evening. Again, we're looking at 43.50 or something like that right now. Silver dropped a little bit down to 53.80. And so again, we're still high up. What would it be? 48%, some crazy number right now. But these squeezes happen when people squeeze not the metal itself, but the paper version of it, right? And we've talked about this. This is a manipulation. This continues to be a manipulation. But unfortunately, because people don't have that metal on hand, again, when we look at, here's a trivia question for anybody in chat. Last year, 2024, how many million tons were we short on silver in 2024? It's a huge number. So being short on silver, we've talked about this for quite a while. This is nothing new. But all of these contracts, all of these shorts, all of these positions are being called. And now these people are having to basically pony up, right? And it's significant. It's insane, right? And again, this isn't anything new. We've seen a short squeeze happen 78, 80 or 79, 80. Y'all know that was the Hunt brothers, right? This is something that's happened. We've seen squeezes. Silver Tuesday or Silver Thursday. I always say Silver Tuesday. Silver Thursday was that single day lost where silver lost over 50% in a day. The question is, and this is kind of the premise of the discussion today, are we looking for another Silver Thursday, or do you think it's going to continue to shoot the moon? There's a lot of people that Tiger and I have listened to that says it's going to continue to go up. And there are situations in the United States right now that warrant that, right? Now, what does that mean? Does it mean it's going to continue to rise? A lot of people say it will. A lot of people say that the bubble's going to potentially burst at 79. What does that actually mean? Where's their evidence on that? We can have a little bit of discussion about that. But it's just one of those things that there's a lot of questions. And what Tiger and I wanted to do is, instead of regaling you with all the research we've done, get the feel for chat and kind of ask, what do you guys think? What are you guys seeing? Because we've seen in this sector people who don't care, right? They just don't care. They don't want to hear about it anymore. They've got it. They're at a price they're going to sell. They want to take their profits, which is going to cause some problems because lots of people are doing that. There are people who are still very bullish. It's going to go up. I've seen things $200 silver. Well, what backs that? And then I've seen people who are bearish on silver and they're like, yeah, it's going to go up for a little while, but when it drops, it's going to drop suddenly. We're going to have another Silver Thursday. So the question is, and Mad's like, what I want. But what are your guys' thoughts on this, right? What have you guys heard versus what have you all been out there and looked at and found? And what does your research tell you? Who are your primary sources, right? That kind of stuff.
Have this put in the chat. If you think silver is going to continue to go up, write the word up. If you think it's going to go down, type the word down. If you think it's going to don't do much, put in the word stay. Let's see what you all think. Tell me what you think. Tell us what you think. And then
So
also ask your
Joey Libs asked the question, what's the trigger? The trigger for it going up right now is the fact that everybody's calling, right? Everybody's saying, right? We see this with the LBMA, we see this with the Nikkei, we see this with India, we see this. Folks, I don't know if you're tracking some of the financial aspects of this, but you know that India left the Hong Kong market and now they're pulling silver from LBMA. Like they're calling in all of their stuff, right? And so this isn't just the little bit, it's just one of those things that, and again, Mad, that is a very real thing. We were talking about that. I think we probably should finish talking about that too, Tiger, because I took some profits. But just generally having that conversation, and again, a lot of this, everybody's like, stack the metal, stack the metal, stack the metal. Can we get to a point to where nobody can buy it? And if that's the case, what do you do? And just ask those hard questions. I know where I stand on this. I think it's going to go up a little bit further, and then I think we're going to have a significant drop. And I think that drop's going to take, if it doesn't hold at the floor, the strong floor of 47, it's going to drop down to 35.
well, I got the perfect answer for you, Frosty.
Go ahead.
There you go. Just call me Jerome Powell.
What does that have to do with silver?
If I can print it, I can just buy more silver.
Yeah, but I'm talking about us.
I was trying to make a little light of a really horrible situation, which we don't have the omnipotence of God, so we don't know if it's going to go up or if the going up is going to crash the LBMA and the COMEX, which means that they're going to lose their credibility, and then things are going to crash down. So,
Joey, how many people will be selling silver on the way down? I'm selling silver on the way up. I'm taking profits. There are pieces of silver that I bought when silver was 25 that I bought for way too high. And I am dropping my dollar cost per average. I'm going to take some of those. I'm going to reinvest it into platinum. I've already made that known. It's absolutely it's absolutely one of those things that I'm going to be doing this. If you're talking about the paper version, you're going to be putting your puts, right? You're going to be putting your markers that those are going to be your signal. If it drops to a certain point, boom, it's going to automatically sell. If you're doing the paper version of that, you had better have those puts called. Set your limits, both high and low. Set your buying, set your selling limits. But again, there's going to continue to be some issues, and the more it goes up, the more people are going to want to sell. And that's going to really jack with the supply and demand issue that we have right now. And we talk about the refiners. I've heard news that some of the refiners are actually going to start doing work again. They're going to start taking it. I've heard others, no, absolutely not. There's even been SD Bullion had the conversation yesterday or the day before. If I remember correctly, somebody correct me if I say this incorrectly, but they were like, well, the next question is, are they moving to 999? Are they going to stop taking that? Because again, they're backlogged months. So what are they going to do with it? How are they going to manage that? And there's a whole financial realm that exists there about how people get money and make money, the Royal Mint, the US Mint, and the fact that they quote unquote lease their silver while they're sitting on it. They basically sell the version of it and then take it back. there's a lot of issues with that, right? I was actually quite surprised we were having this conversation when I was talking about this on my show on Sunday, that when the Navy privy came out, they didn't raise the price. And why was that? Well, it's because the coins were already done. They were already done. They were already there. The price was already set. They'd already been done. The silver had already been purchased. They didn't raise the price. Now we got the Marines coming up here shortly. What's the price going to be set at that one? It's going to be interesting to see. Is the Mint going to raise their price accordingly? We'll have to find out. How does this affect the semi-quincentennial 2026? Both from a stacker and a numismatic standpoint. What series are they going to stop? How are they going to manage that? There's tons and tons and tons and tons of questions that I still have regarding what's going to happen. But again, today is more about what do you guys think? We can answer some questions based off of what we know or what we believe based off of our research. But again, to quote the guy from SD Bullion towards the end of that, the honest answer is we really don't know. Right. And they're in the industry. And again, you want to be what they call cautiously optimistic. Right. And this is something that we just have to be aware of. And, Tiger had to take some gains. I had to take some gains. Or I shouldn't say had to, opted to. And I think what I think is, again, Tiger, you talked about this just a minute ago. I want you to elaborate on this. What was Chevella's price? Because I know what my price was, and my price was way better than yours.
Oh yeah, she at that time the spot price was 52 something, so it dropped down to 42 something. And if you consider that, if you bought more recently, you're going to take a little bit of a loss if you bought in the mid to high 40s. If you bought in the 30s, still get a little bit of a gain. If you bought in the 20s, even better. You know, um, you know, my concern is that I still believe the SHTF is coming, and my 90% is definitely going to be one of the last things I'd ever consider selling, because if we hit a true SHTF, whether it be national or international, the ability to purchase is going to be right there staring you in the face. It's also, a little side note, and I know you're going to pretty much need to have some nausea medicine here. It's also on the side note why I also believe in the fractional gold backs for bartering whenever someone doesn't want your silver. Giving myself an option, kind of using the old adage that I knew you would do that.
Sorry. He was swearing, and I'm against profanity.
So I'm giving myself different options, so that if you have to find someone who won't take silver and they only want gold, and it's only for small things like food or clothing, I'm giving myself options and not having to get even a quarter ounce of gold out. So it's one of the things that I've always believed in. And then currently, Chevelle point blank told me, if someone's selling silver, they might take a bath, but if they're selling gold, the current situation with silver is not the current situation with gold. So it's like my first teacher, Lynette Zhang, would say, "What if I'm right and what if I'm wrong? I want to be in a position where it doesn't matter." So
Fact. And this is one of the reasons. And again, folks, you guys know me. I'm more of a collector, numismatist. I stack, and I stack for safety's sake, but I'm not sitting around with thousands of ounces. I maybe have, I'm selling basically a third, which is 120 ounces or so ish. I don't have tons. Um, my thing is, I want to offset my heavy losses when I was young and dumb. I want to take some of those gains, and I want to invest that into something that is the potential for upside. And again, in my case, I went with I'm platinum, right? Platinum is the medium that I have chosen to invest in that regard. Um, Now, with that being said, Tiger, what was the price that Cervella quoted you?
About $42 and change,
Okay,
which was
so
$10, $10 on the spot.
I had a totally different experience. And I called a number of places around here, called Houston, called Dallas, called Austin, and checked a couple places just to kind of find out what's going on. Um, Again, not sponsored. I ended up going with a company. I'm going to be talking with them again tomorrow, and it's Lone Star. They're in San Antonio. But a number of places that I called, including one of the places in Houston, was $3 back of COMEX, not spot, $3 back of COMEX. And at the time, that was about 49 bucks, and then take 3 or $4 back. You're looking 45 or 46 bucks. And then I went to Lone Star, talked with Lone Star and said, "Hey, this is what I'm looking at. Here's what's going on. This is what people have done that." He's like, "Well, we're $3 back a spot." It was more money than the other places. Ended up being something like 47.50 per ounce. Now, again, opportunities. People are like, "Oh yeah, well you should have waited a few days." When you make a decision like this, you've got to just be comfortable with it, because as silver and gold go up, and they're going up right now, silver's down about 30 cents or something like that. Gold's up about 5.5 bucks. Platinum, palladium, they're both down a little bit. Platinum's had bigger swings. Down right now, they're down 17 bucks and about 17. Palladium is about 16.30. I see more upside in the platinum. So I opted to shift that stack to a couple ounces of platinum. That's my desire. That's where I'm going. That's why I'm making this move. I am shifting metals. I'm holding the metals. I'm still maintaining the metals. I'm not taking cash. I'm shifting it, right? I'm taking the investment to something I believe over the long term has less volatility and more potential upside. And in that case, it's platinum and palladium. I'm not a big fan of palladium because the exit strategy on palladium is harder than platinum. But you don't see lots of platinum because people, once they get it, they just don't want to sell it, right? They sit on it. And so my personal belief, and again, my belief, based off of discussions that I've had with a number of people, was that was the way to go. Does that sit well with all of you? Well, really, it doesn't matter. It has to sit well with me. That is the bottom line.
Your
You
money,
have
your decision.
you have to take time to educate yourself, get multiple sources of information, make an assessment, act on that assessment. And again, if I can give one person a piece of advice, it's to act, not react. Okay, you ask anybody, "Hey, if Frosty was going to give me one piece of advice, what would it be?" It would be to act, don't react. Reaction is emotional. There's a whole lot of FOMO involved, and don't do that. Do your research, do your homework, make an assertion, make an assumption, and you know what? Sometimes you're going to win. Sometimes you're going to lose. The object here is to win more than you lose. But in every step, if you're learning along the way, you're growing. And that's ultimately what we need to do. So, what have I started to do? Right? This is Frosty talking, not Tiger, Frosty, just Frosty. I've started talking with some financial folks. Hey, you know what? I realize I'm really lagging in the understanding of how this process works. Teach me. Like, show me what's going on. Earlier, somebody asked, "Well, do we know what do we know what the catalyst is?" Yeah, it's the sell-off and the demand for that physical silver. People don't have it like they quote unquote say they have. Now they're having to get it. People are calling those contracts, right? People are calling those shorts. And now they're having to produce the metal. So everybody's scrambling to find it. Prices go up, prices go up, prices go up. Once
And
this squeeze
they
happens,
have
what
to do it
happens?
before they lose the confidence of their customers.
Well, yeah, but again, you're talking about if you're a stacker, don't take offense to what I'm about to say, please. Okay. This is not meant to be belittling, but
He's
as
gonna tell you
stackers,
to buy gold back.
we have a very small segment of the population. There are some of us, I mean, now depending upon where you look at, the average US household has less than 10 ounces. The
Oh,
average stacker has somewhere between 500 and 1,000. And that's based off of numbers that I've seen. That can be way off. Some of you are like, oh man, it's not even close. I've got 20,000 ounces. Killer for you. You're that 0.1% of stackers that have that. The reason that it is so common for us is because we're in this freaking community. This is what we see day in and day out. The same people, the same conversations, the same general topics. We think it's more prevalent than it is because we're in it. What we need to do is step out of it and look back and say, hey, how much of an impact do we really have? And yes, we can have some impact, but industry, financial, and the banks, now you add big government having to call their items. Who are we in this game? And we are the ones that need to really be informed because we need to be aware of what they're doing. We need to be watching the media, watching good media, right? Cultivate multiple sources. Watch people you don't like because they may provide insights to you you didn't recognize, you didn't realize. That doesn't mean stop watching Tiger and Me. It just means to go out and look at other people and cultivate multiple options. He had good points there. Oh, I didn't really like what he had there. Come back, take it, make an assessment, and then make your action. Take your action, take your step. And then once you've done that, once you were there, then own it and be good with it. So again, I'm going to go talk to the shop tomorrow. I'm actually going to try and do some interviews with them. Already got kind of a cursory okay, but again, you got to cultivate the relationships. This is the first time I ever dealt with them. Told them what was going on, told them we had a channel, told them what I was trying to do. They're on board. So hopefully we can get some more information from the bullion and coin shop, talk about those kind of things on this, bring them into here, etc. But we want to cultivate multiple options. So there's going to be other people. Tiger's working with some people that really understand the legality of all of this and really trying to incorporate um, you know, on state level understanding of what's happening, how hard it is. He's working to cultivate those relationships. I've been reading tons and tons and tons and tons of legislation, not just on the numismatic side, but trying to understand where silver and gold come in. The best thing that I can offer you is, man, just read and watch and listen. And if something doesn't sound right, research it. Find out why it doesn't sound right to you. Because there's so much mis and disinformation. Tiger, what's the difference between mis and dis?
Basically, I had a hard time with this, and then it dawned on me. You know, the old slang was saying, "You're dissing me," which means you're disrespecting me. You purposely go out of your way to disrespect someone on the average. So disinformation is done on purpose. That's how I remember it.
And that's
Misinformation,
perfect. It's a perfect
misinformation
example.
is
Yeah.
missing the target.
Yeah. And so misinformation is, um, hey, silver right now is at 35.7. Oh, sorry, hold on. 57.30. Hold on. I don't know what it's at.
I'm looking right now.
Um, well,
53.92.
no, but I'm just saying, that's misinformation. I'm not trying to mislead you. It's just something was said incorrectly, or maybe I didn't have all the information and I spoke something that because I didn't have all the information, it's there. Happens a lot in numismatics, right? A lot of people think they have what they have. They heard something from their Aunt Sally or their Facebook doc.
Steve
Steve
Woods,
Woods
new
is a new
member.
member. Thanks, Steve.
Two-part harmony.
Uh, um, all I can say, okay, like really, all I can say about this is it's fun to watch it go up. It really is. What's up, Acadian? How you doing, brother? It's fun to watch it go up, but it doesn't necessarily mean good things. It doesn't. It's kind of like a bad thing. I know people are like, "Oh, I'm stacking it. I got it. It's going up, and I'm happy about it." Um, I just
There's Michael giving misinformation again. I'm messing with you.
no. Well, looking at Kitco, he's right. Hey,
There you go,
Wilson
giving
just dropped off 9
disinformation.
coins at PCGS yesterday. Wilson, I want you to do me a favor. Tiger, I'm going to do a quick plug for my channel. Sorry. If you guys haven't seen the video that I did on criminals don't want you to know this, there is a very serious item that you guys, if you ship slabbed coins, in particular, the ones that have the RFID shielding on them, as soon as this is over, go watch that video. I give you some tips on how to protect yourself. I am actually going to be sending some coins off to PCGS for grading just to reiterate this. And I can share my screen and I can show you if you want me to. We can do that when we're done with this conversation, but it is extremely important. Again, folks, it's just we're here to protect the hobby. We're here to protect each other. That's what Tiger and I's mission is in Stack Collector. We take this on both within our channels, but as a conglomerate coming together as a stacker and as a collector to give you the best information that we can. And this is something that's extremely important. And I really strongly suggest that you have that understanding. You don't need to wear a tinfoil hat, right? I'm not trying to go conspiracy. This is fact. I've got members who work at the post office who have saw this and went, yeah, this is a huge problem. Law enforcement's been involved. The Anti-Counterfeiting Education Foundation has gotten involved. It's a big deal. One of the largest and the oldest coin shops has actually purchased these. Some members in our community went out and purchased some of these items. It's not an affiliate. We're not making money off of this. It's pure protection of the hobby. And so again, I just want to make sure that people are tracking this. So Tiger, take over for a minute. I'm going to change my cameras. I want to show some people something real fast.
Okay. So, it's real important. Frosty brings up some very interesting points. Okay. And basically, I've made it a point in one of my other videos, very important that I want you all to really get this through here. You really don't need, oh crap, it was supposed to be better time than that. See here. You really don't need I'll be a son of a gun. There, you don't need that. That was supposed to be well better time than that. But you don't need one of those hats. I've got enough for everybody. So all joking aside, that was from one of my videos where I teased about trackers inside of Type 2 American Silver Eagles. They're actually going to be in
Yeah,
Type.
I remember that. We actually talked about that the other day. Will you do me a favor? Pull me up big real quick.
Yeah. Actually,
This
they're
is
going to be in Type 3.
This is a package that I got from somebody. I've protected this. You can see the packages here. Um, I know what's inside here. I know who it came from, but you guys can't tell me what's inside here. There is nothing that gives away what this is. But you see this, let me do this really quick. Turn this off real quick. If I set my phone on here, you can see this. And if I just move my phone down, you see this little thing that came up? If I click on that and I do my little face thing, what you're going to see, I'm going to flip that around so you can see this. What you're going to see is the coin that's actually in here. Now, it's not an expensive coin, but I actually told you what was inside this package, and I didn't have to open it. Now, there's other stuff in here. And if you guys don't think this is a huge problem, then y'all need to think about, what if I was sending something like that? That's a $450, $500 coin. Okay. Now, why does that happen? Well, this happens because it's one of the PCGS that has that little infrared logo on it. It's that gold shield, right? This is in a package, folks. Okay. Now it's open, but it's closed. And I open this up. You can see that this package is still in its containers. It's not been opened. I know what's in here. It's wrapped just like it would be. But all I got to do is put that on there and that little logo thing pops up. And again, we'll turn that off. All I've got to do is scan this and that scan comes up. This is a huge problem. So go watch that video. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to watch it. And if you find it valuable, share the hell out of that. Not just promoting the channel, but promoting protection for the community. Okay. The person who sent me this, I've already talked to him. He's aware of what's going on with this. He has purchased the elements. And on Saturday, these little things, you can get these from all over the world. This is RF shielding tape. It contains copper in here. I am giving these away. I am going to give these things out. Now, these come from China. It doesn't matter where they come from. The technology is good. I'm going to be opening these up. I've got a big one to show people what's going on. I am giving stuff away to the community. I've also got some additional packages that come in. These things are the, and again, they come from all over the place. These are the little elements that I talk about. There's 200 of them in a package like this. They're $10, $10. And all you've got to do is go to Amazon and type in the Faraday cloth tape. Okay. And it will pull up this stuff. And then you can find it in the sheets. Again, it's not an affiliate link. Look it up for yourself. But I'm going to be giving some of this stuff away. I want to help protect the community. Tiger and I have talked about this. And as we find stuff like this, we are going to make sure that we do this. Now, this was a $55 coin. Not a big deal. But let me show you guys something. So I'm going to open this up, and there is one coin there. It's just in a normal holder, not a big deal. It's not worth much.
So that won't come through because it doesn't have that RF.
It doesn't have the RF shielding thing on it. Doesn't have the logo. It won't come through. I know I just cut this one. There we go. Here is the coin that's scanned. If you see this logo on your coin, you should be taking something like this and placing it over, and you can put it inside the bag. You can put it on top of the bag. I show all that in the video. Okay. You want to make sure you're watching that. But here is the element that was inside of there. And you guys can't see this very well. But this is what they call a Feuchtwanger cent. And I'm just going to cover this up right here. This is a Feuchtwanger cent. Okay. That's a few $100 coin. And if they saw this, people go, Frosty, it only showed this coin. Yeah, but let me ask you a question. My name, obviously, the way that I put it is here. If they start scanning $50 coins and they start pairing my name with coins, you don't think they're going to start looking at every package? And what happens if I have something like this? Okay. Or something like this, or something like this, which is a $400 coin. What happened if I put this in here and I wrap this package up and I shove this package in this box and I close this? And now you can see this, the new one comes up. I tag that top one. Now we'll flip this around. Now you see that 1883C. Oh, wait, what's the value on this one? That's a $435 coin. Oh, I use a P.O. box too down south in Pitkin. And I'm talking about the things that you can do. But you know what? Doesn't matter whether you send it to a P.O. box or not. I scanned this through this package. Oh, you want to see another kicker? Check this out. Okay,
The P.O. box increases your risk if your neighbors get into your P.O. box. It doesn't change if you got criminals that work in the post office.
All right, folks, here, look at this. I've got this really nice package, right? And I send this inside of a box. It's not going to fit very well. Okay, so whatever. And I open this up. You guys can see there's nothing there. But if I put this on here and I scan this, is it going to scan? Am I going to have anything show up? Maybe. Maybe not. It might not show up. Let me do this.
Does it matter where you put the RF blocker?
Well, and I'll talk to you about that. I don't know where this is, but I know it's in here somewhere.
To answer your question, Victor Xavier, if you go into my channel and you just in the search bar, just type the word tracker and it'll bring it up. So if you go into Tiger Stacker channel and just type the word tracker, you'll get that video. It's really funny.
So it just scanned 2 different coins inside the package. Okay. Now it doesn't always scan it right off. You may have to scan it a couple times. But when I click on this, and again, I got to put my face on there. Well, I'll load it back up. You can see it. But again, it pulls up that $400 coin. This is in a container, right? And I can put it in a box. So, and again, I show different shipping things that people do, right? Whether you're using the different containers, they scan through all of them. And so it's important that you understand how to protect yourself. And so again, Tiger, I apologize. I didn't mean to make this about this.
That's okay. It's okay.
It's a really important topic, and I want to make sure that people are tracking it.
That's okay, as long as it protects them. You know, I don't normally buy slabs, and I don't even think I have an RF slab. If I do, I don't even know I have one. But at least now I know to look for them if I ever deal with what a few slabs I have. By the way, I did put the link in there for you, Victor. I went back and picked it up and sent it to you in the chat. But honestly, what was important is that, as I said this 2 weeks ago, let me bring myself back up here.
Yeah. So real quick, Zeffel, and I don't mean to cut you off. Has anybody had issues with this? Coins being stolen from mail packages is a huge issue. When the Anti-Counterfeiting Education Foundation, when I was talking with them, when I showed her this, she was like, "Oh my God, that's how they're doing it." Like, oh my, it was a revelation. And I was like, and I'll be honest with you, I set my phone down and I grabbed my phone, and as I slid my phone across, it went off, and I was like, well, that's weird. Oh, and by the way, it works through, again, CAC doesn't have those scans, but if you put one in a CAC one, they can scan it as well. I've checked different kinds of mediums and stuff like that. Does
Understood.
this, yeah, it's just, it is a problem. It's a huge problem. And there are a number of people who have talked about these things in chat boards and chat rooms. It's not, people know that scanning it can be a problem. What really hasn't been looked at is the fact that you can scan these through almost every medium. Now, you're not going to go buy a Faraday bag to ship a $50 coin. Faraday bags are hundreds of bucks, right? You're not going to do that. But these little things that I showed you, you can get 200 of them for 10 bucks. And what's 10 bucks when you're talking about shipping a coin? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 bucks. I've had coins shipped to me that were in the thousands. And could you imagine? Yeah, they have insurance, but insurance through the mail system or through USPS, UPS, FedEx, whatever it is, getting your insurance done on coins is a pain in the butt. And if you don't insure it for the proper amount, you're not going to get the full amount of that coin back. Oh,
True.
by the way, if you only have one and the person bought it from you, who's responsible for that? Right? As the seller, yeah, right. If it never gets there, I'm responsible for it. According to USPS, even if I have to file a claim, Tiger, remember when you shipped me a coin and the package came open? You had to fill out the claim form, not me. You had to provide the information, not me. So it's on the seller. And so you guys, you really have to be careful and just protect yourself.
It's on the shipper. I didn't sell that to you. I sent it to you. So the correction I want to put in there, it's on the shipper. Whether you sell it or you give it or whatever, it's on the shipper.
Yeah.
So but that brings up back to what I was going to try to say. The reason we started this collaborative live stream was for all of you. Okay. To teach you what you need to do to protect yourself. And as I said 2 weeks ago, Frosty does a lot on the educational side and on the numismatic side. I do a good bit of education. I do more from the scientific side. So by all means, we're here for all of you. And because of which, this might sound like a plug, but it's also, you scratch our back, we scratch your back, that type of thing. We're scratching your back trying to teach and protect you. Numismatic side, scientific side, please find it in your heart, if you will be so kind. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, leave comments, hit the bell notification. Otherwise, YouTube might take out your subscription. It doesn't cost you anything. And Frosty, other content creators who have their heart in the right place, we spend a lot of time trying to create content that protects all of us in the community. I could say, the heck with YouTube. I'm going to go spend thousands of hours with my wife, which I really do want to spend more time with her. But I'm committed to all of you. Frosty's committed to all of you. Please help us obtain our goals. I've just obtained 2,000 subscribers, which I'm so very grateful for all of you for. Frostbyte wants to get to 10,000. I want to get to 5,000. Please find it in your heart to hit the subscribe button. I can't speak for Frosty, but 75% of my viewers have never been subscribers. And it doesn't cost you anything, but it supports our channel. It hits the YouTube algorithm and helps promote the channel so that we can make more content and make things even better than what we're already doing. So please subscribe to this guy here if you haven't. Subscribe to me if you haven't. And like I said, to keep the subscription, hit the bell notification, hit the like, leave a comment. It keeps it in there and tells YouTube you're a real person instead of a bot. and it helps build the channel. So, I wanted to put that in there because we all need, those of us who are truly doing this for all the right reasons, not just money. We want you all to get what you pay for, not get fake stuff or get lied to or anything else. So that's my take on it. So basically, you that's what I'm done saying what I need to say.
So I want to do a couple of things. Another one, Howley Hawaiian, Shaka, appreciate you a ton. Neil, yes, watch hours are very important. Subscribers without watch time, it's not really beneficial, right?
No,
So
it's not.
watch that stuff. Um, you know, comment if you like something. It's really
How
easy.
many
We
they
get
don't
into
like
this.
it?
Yeah, we get into this group of scroll, 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 scroll. I do it all the time, and then I leave, and I'm like, oh, I didn't like anything that I watched. And it's easy when you're on a phone; you just double tap the screen. Um, so I'm guilty of it too. It's really easy. I was talking with a buddy of mine, and he was like, I can do all sorts of stuff. Earlier, Freaking Awesome was in here. Freaking Awesome shares everything, right? He's always sharing. Really good at doing that. But I'm not so much, and it's hard for me to just stop and go, hey, I need to take time and I need to really kind of direct and focus my energies on making sure I share out that content that I enjoy. But definitely watching the videos is huge. And again, folks, I mean, we got people all over the globe, quite literally, that come in. We are a monstrously small community, and we can get so much bigger. There's so much good information to be had. We just want to make sure that you get the best hype. And sometimes that's not going to come from Tiger and I. Sometimes it's going to come from our mentors, and we're going to share those mentors with you. We're not stingy in that. And yeah, it could hurt us a little bit, but it's about helping the community. And ultimately, that's what matters.
Another thing that since you mentioned the mentors and whatever, if you see some material done by one YouTuber and it's done by another YouTuber or another one, some people get all bent. So and so copied such and such. I don't care, and my mentor Yankee don't care, and a couple other people don't care. If you think about it, we all are human beings. We all have a human brain, and the human brain learns best how? Repetition. We
I'm a meat
learn.
popsicle.
What's that?
I'm a meat popsicle.
So basically, if you see it over and over and over again, it's going to stick. Just like when you're trying to teach a child, you repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Like, why are you repeating it so much? Well, now I know that you've actually listened, and it'll probably stick in your brain, kiddo. So, and that doesn't matter if you're a child or an adult. Repetition is the key to retention. So, I don't care. In fact, I was just watching a video. I've got a video coming out about something that is about stacking, but a different type of stacking. It's coming out this weekend. So please watch it. But it also leads into those little clicks that comes at the end. I put in specific 2 different types of videos that I've done in the past. Why? It repeats some of the information. It's so that it can be taught. And it's some of my earlier videos, but it's important to retain and advance. So you can't retain if you don't remember. You can't advance if you don't remember. So, psychology, that's right, Nick. So that I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to give out too much information about the upcoming video. But Frosty does a lot of work trying to get you all protected, not only numismatically. He had an awesome interview with a lady about counterfeits that he made mention to. And because that contact, like he said, the RF detecting was found out by this lady who is a counterfeit guru. Me, on the other hand, I'm going down some other things, which I don't want to say too much about because I want you all to come see it. I've got currently 2 live streams planned for all of you. Maybe a third, maybe a fourth. So those are all coming. I want you all to get the information that I can provide to you so that you can protect yourselves, your family, your stack, and your future. Same thing with Frosty. And since he does things his way and I do things my way, we decided Stack Collector is a great way to combine for everyone. So we'd really appreciate your support on trying to promote both channels as well as the collaborative to protect all of you. And please scratch our backs by giving us a new subscribers.
All right, folks. Well, hey, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all being here. Thank you for allowing us to push the time back. There were a number of things happening today that just made it difficult to get started on time. So we do appreciate you.
That's very true. That's extremely.
And yeah, I can do it live, but I've already got the video. I've got the record, and I'm putting some stuff together. So it'll be out next week.
So
on Saturday, but if you guys join the live stream Saturday morning, I will be talking about the discussion that we had today. I'm going to be going over a number of different items again, testing it, showing people what's happening, how you can protect yourself, and then again, make sure you guys share this out. We're going to follow this up with a lot of people. So
let me drop in one little bit. I do have
32 likes.
What's that?
32 likes.
Okay, we'll run the wheel for the 25 like silver quarter giveaway. I do have a live stream set up with a guest that I've had 2, maybe 3 times. Chris Pritt, who was in the House of Delegates for West Virginia. We're going to talk about how laws and how the legislation works for how it's going to affect not only any law, but for our specific type of law as well. How the legislation process works, which should help us with getting what we love, gold and silver, recognized as money. Chris Pritt put 2 bills together before he left the House of Delegates. And currently it's sitting there gathering dust. But, with a lot of hard work, prayer, we'll see if we can get another person to pick up the baton and carry it across the finish line. But I won't tell you too much, and it's certainly not my field of expertise. My field is medicine. His is politics, and he can educate all of us so exceptionally well. So I will tell you about that one upcoming live stream for Saturday evening. So just to let you know that's coming. It's already been scheduled. The thumbnail has been made. Everything's been made. All I got to do is get Chris Pritt away from his busy law practice. So enough said about that. I hope to see you all there, and go to this guy's live streams too. You'll learn a lot.
All right, folks. Well, hey, I want you to do me a favor. When we leave here, go check out Michael and Nancy's. Go over, say hi. Let's raid them. Let's show them some love. They're good people.
Not only that, they got some extra cocoa.
Woohoo!
So good night, everyone. Thank you, Frosty, for being here.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Anytime, anytime. Night, everyone.